Okay, we're going to try JSTOR, which is another database, and you can look up things about literature, um, history, just about any subject, science. These are all journals that are where the articles are written by professors of universities and other professionals in the fields that they are writing about. So we're going to look at um, Noah Larsen, and we're going to see what we can find on passing, sort of the same type of search that we were doing in the history database. And again, I'm still looking at the author through that lens. Anyway, so here we go. We're going to put in her name, Larsen, Nella, and then we're going to combine it with the word passing. I'm going to give it a capital letter so that it will pick up also the title of the book as well as the word passing. Okay, so we always want to do content we can access. We leave it there. Okay, we're not going to submit the search yet. We're going to choose that we're narrowing down and choose articles. You want it in English. And these are the different ways you can filter or narrow things down. So normally when it's a literary person, I would scroll all the way down to language and literature. But in this case, I want to work on what does that term, what more can we find on that term, passing? So I'm going to look at African American studies because the lens there is the cultural, the culture specifically towards African Americans. And so that we can find out how that word is being used and what other people, critics, literary critics, or critics or other writers, because we're working in this type of journal here. If we were in the language and literature, it would be a literary critic who would be writing in most cases. But we're just going to stick with this one here. Okay. Okay, I'm going to double check before I submit, and everything looks good. Okay, so this is a good number of results. Okay, looks like this first one is they're combining it with a character from the Great Gatsby. Unless I have my character misplaced in my head. That was my first thought, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. We don't need this one. And here, this one looks good. Passing for what? Aspects of identity. Yes, that's what we're focused on in that, at least in my first run through this historicism topic and having to do with racial identity. So this one looks good. I'm just going to put a check mark there just so that I can remember that I want that one. Yes, here the save item is a special feature where you can create your own little account once you're in through Loyola. You can make your own. It's kind of like a folder, but we're not going to do that right now. I'm just going to put a check mark for me to see it. Looking at the second one. Any of these are going to be pretty good. Okay. So any of these would be interesting. Okay, so let's open this up. Okay, it's talking about the check mark. We'll uncheck it for now. Okay, so this is interesting, and they're looking at it indeed as through a literary lens as well as identity. Okay, so this is good. So they've got a couple of excerpts, a couple of lines or excerpts from her two of her novels, Quicksand and Passing. Okay, I'm looking at this first sentence here. And it's also talking about the Harlem Renaissance. So these both work for my initial choices in the topics. We're talking about Harlem Renaissance and or racial identity. So I could choose to talk about one or the other or both. It just depends what are the parameters of your assignment. So if you're to choose one topic out of that, you would have to choose between them. But you could use a lot of articles that talk about any of these gender and power dynamics, in what ways does Passing critique the idea of the new woman, Harlem Renaissance. They're under 4 topics. So racial identity and the concept of passing. Okay, so I'm leaning towards the first one, the concept of passing and identity. So I really like this one. So if I wanted to take this, first of all, I'd probably go look at the cite button here to get the citation, and we indeed want MLA. So all you have to do is hit copy. Then I could create a Google Doc or Word. I tend to go to Word. Okay. Now this was from yesterday when I was looking on another on the ABC site, ABC Clio site. It needed me to go through the whole thing again. So I'm saving it to my desktop for now, and I'm going to edit it. It's read only. It doesn't really matter. We're just going to edit, okay? I just want to show you what you can do inside. So I'm going to go ahead and start a works cited document. Of course, I'd clean everything up. I'd take out this. It doesn't really matter. This, for now, I just want to get this citation. Okay, so there it is. That's from that article I'm looking at right now. So I'm going to close this for now. Close that. Of course, the other way to do this, you could share this with somebody or share it through email, share it to probably to Google Docs. Let's see what they offer. Facebook, Twitter, email. Most likely email is what you're going to do. Okay, you can save it. Yeah. These are all the options you have. And since I know I'm going to like this one, I'm going to download it. Okay. Okay. And again, I still have choices here. I haven't yet downloaded it, but at least I've got it and I can look at it here. Because it's quite different when you're actually inside of the list. Okay, so this is a facsimile of the original print copy of the article. Okay, so that's always nice, but it's not necessary. So when you download it, or when you send it to yourself through email, it will probably look more like this. Okay, so again, I'm just grasping or gathering rather our articles for now. So I'm going to go ahead and close this one since I've got access to it on my Word doc. And I want to go back to the results. So always look for some kind of arrow or a link that lets you go back to your results, because some databases, they may, when you hit just the back button up here, they will, you'll erase your actual search. Okay, so we're just going back to the results list, and you can scroll through here. So you can see the summaries. These are called abstracts. I'll show you what one of these looks like. I'm going to go ahead and click on the article and open it. Okay. Sometimes they have a summary and it's separated from the beginning of the journal. In this case, it looks like it's all beginning of the journal, the article. Okay. And then these are offerings of other similar articles. They're probably in the same list. Okay, so this is an example of how you'd go about searching in JSTOR. There's just so much more there for you. So we used ABC Clio on the last video, the last search, and that's just the very beginnings where you're trying to get an idea of the history, the era, and so on. You could do that here as well, and you would probably be looking for journal type, and narrow it down to journal type for history or historical. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we could redo that. Let's say we want to modify the search slightly. Okay, let's say we want to we include the African American studies, and let's say we'll look for something history. Okay, history. And then we're going to go and run the search again. We still have our original terms. Okay. So you're going to likely see the same articles come up, that very first one, passing. A lot of these, I have a feeling these are in order, so they came up African American studies and history, one after the other. So it's fine. I would just say you just take your time and see anything that's interesting in the abstracts down here or in the title itself. Okay, so we're going to stop for now. You're going to try it on your own. Okay, thank you.